In the last episode, we sailed the Virgin Islands, St. Kitts, Nevis, and ended up at the Salty Dawg Reunion on Dominica.
From Dominica, it was a morning sail to the Isle of the Saints.
Equus anchored off Ons du Bourg along with our Salty Dawg friends, Whatever She Wants, and Free at Last.
This cozy little island was our first visit to a French Caribbean nation.
The difference was immediately apparent when we found ourselves checking into the country at a computer in the back of a cafe
while enjoying a cold beer.
We could have stayed here forever, but Whatever She Wants had to fly home, and we had a rendezvous to make in St. Martin the following week.
We departed the next morning toward Antigua, but first we had to stop for a dive at the Cousteau National Park.
Although it was a bit crowded with dive and snorkel charters, this beautiful marine park was a highlight not to be missed.
Unfortunately, we could only get one quick dive in before we had to leave to get to the port of Dahé to check out of the country and to beat a nasty set of storms rolling in.
After a stormy night in an overcrowded anchorage, we did the 50-mile crossing to Antigua in very unsettled weather.
As we were getting tired of the choppy seas and inconsistent winds, a pod of dolphins showed up to lift our spirits.
Unbelievably, these were the first dolphins we had seen since our Atlantic crossing.
We anchored in Falmouth Harbor and checked in at the historic Nelson Shipyard.
The next day, we explored the island as best we could before moving to Jolly Harbor on the west side of Antigua.
For some reason, lobster had been scarce for us in the islands, but tonight, lobster was on the menu.
Some locals told us how to prepare it island style, so we took their advice and grilled it with garlic, butter, and herbs.
We learned a neat trick to use the antenna to devein the lobster. It was
delicious!
St. Martin was more than a daytime passage, so we decided to leave at sunset for an overnight sail.
We arrived before noon the next day and dropped anchor in Marigot Bay on the French side of the island. To our surprise, our good friends John and Taji Kretschmer were 3 boats away. John invited us to one of his famous captain's hours with new cruisers Kenny from Sailing Sea Dogs and Adam and Kiara from Millennial Falcon.
We also caught up with our good friends from home, Theo and Suzanne.
They had just bought a house on the island and were there for the week.
Unfortunately, our time in St. Martin wasn't all fun and games.
Equus needed some TLC.
Below the waterline,
We repaired some blisters.
applied a fresh coat of copper coat,
And installed a new maxi prop propeller.
above deck,
We replaced our obsolete electronics.
we finished our cockpit table,
Repaired our Dodger.
made a new dinghy cover,
And repaired one for our friends on Whatever She Wants.
The whole time Equus was on land, Theo and Suzanne let us live at their place.
We can't thank them enough.
We did, however, make it to the beach between jobs quite often.
We do live in paradise, you know.
We even managed a quick trip back home for Mother's Day.
When we returned to St. Martin, we splashed Equus back in the water.
After spending a night in the marina to check our new systems, we headed out of Simpson Bay.
And prepared for our Atlantic crossing to Europe.